Thank you, Georgia. Go out and vote. Let's get this vote out.
I'm Chris Kahn, polling editor for Reuters. 2020 has been a year like none other, and that certainly goes for the presidential campaign. Here are 3 reasons why the election this year will be unprecedented. The first, this is an election in which people have largely made up their minds. We found for months ago that most voters said that they are locked in on their choice of either supporting Donald Trump or Joe Biden. We saw 4 years ago that about 20% of likely voters were undecided. They pretty much decided at the very end of that election to pick what they thought was the better of 2 very unpopular choices. That's not the case this year. The second reason is the coronavirus. This is an issue that has dominated this election, this country, the entire world like none other. We still see that a majority of Americans, including a majority of Democrats and a majority of Republicans, say that they are personally concerned about the spread of the virus. And it is really affecting everything in our daily lives, including the way that we vote. We see that Democrats are largely interested in early voting and mail-in voting. Republicans are still deciding to show up in person. And that's really going to be affecting the outcome on November 3rd. We're going to see that there's a number of states, especially the Rust Belt states, we're talking about Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, will take days or even weeks to count all of their mail-in votes. Finally, this election is different because we have a president who is actively calling out and questioning the validity of the entire campaign.
This universal mail-in is a very dangerous thing.
This is going to be the scam of all time.
I think it's a very dangerous, terrible thing.
He's been saying for a very, very long time that he thinks that voting is rigged. He doesn't like the idea of early voting or absentee voting or mail-in voting. And he's been saying just recently that he thinks that all votes should be counted on Election Day and after Election Day, that the mail-in vote and the late coming vote should be nullified. These are all concerns for people who are looking for a race that everyone can accept. I think one of the biggest concerns among many people who are watching this race is, after we have a result, after we have the race called for one candidate or the other, how many people are going to accept it? I think that we're going to see a considerable amount of people who don't, and they have been given reasons to, including many provided by their president.